Hello everyone, my name is Corazar, and welcome back to the Vintage Story Guide. What's that? We're not at the house? Wait, we aren't? What are we doing out here? Well, if you'd calm down and take a look right behind you. Let's look together. I was out checking out the wolves, apparently. I was out here checking out the commodity traders' goods, and they're not goods, they're just bads. And I came down here to check out this pear tree that we'd found last year while adventuring. And lo and behold, there's a pink apple tree right next to it too. And they are both ripe. So I want to take this chance and I want to harvest all this fruit and take it back with us. Because I know that this fruit lasts a whole heck of a lot longer than the berries we've been gathering. The berries last maybe 7 or 8 days when they are in a cellar storage. These can last over a year. So to harvest a tree, you need to find tree leaves with ripe fruit, and you just hold down right click. And you get a ton of fruit. Look, we got 12 pears from that one area. This one little branchy bit right here. 12 pears. And they last 40 days in our inventory, and they can be juiced. But the 40 days is the most interesting part, which means we can have fruit all winter long without having to make it into jam. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to harvest all these trees, bring it back home, and we will continue with today's topic. Over the river and through the woods, back to our house we go. With the rain on the tree leaves. It's pretty, ooh, ugh. And the rift. Hello, rift. Goodbye, rift. Okay, so now that we are home safe and sound, and yes, I realize we're still in our old home, but I haven't moved any of the vessels over to our cellar yet. We got 3/4 of a stack of pink apples and a full, complete stack of pears. That is a ton of fruit, and that should last us probably all winter. So I'm going to go ahead and tuck all these goodies away in our rot-filled vessels. Just going to scoot that over here, and we're going to put this fruit in here, and see, it lasts 1.4 years in storage, so we have plenty of time to use these up. And that pink apple tree is actually still a young stem, so I'm not going to go and chop it into grafts just yet, because I want to see if we get more branches and a taller tree out of that beforehand. So today, what are we doing today, Corazar? Well, as I promised at the end of the last episode, we are going to do something involving this dyeing room here. Not the kind where you go and perish, but the kind where you fill barrels full of water and put dyes in and put cloth in to dye fabric. And as promised, or as I threatened, I did dig out this little hole here and we can fill these barrels with this bucket. So, since getting into the Bronze Age, our armor is getting a little long in the tooth. We are using Tier 1 copper armor, and we want to be able to adventure longer, adventure deeper, and it's time to upgrade our armor. We could move straight to bronze armor, but that's expensive, time-consuming, and so on. And while we have a lot of bronze and the ability to, of course, go and just dig more out of the ground, we also have a lot of flax and a lot of linen. Now, we are going to need a lot of this later on this year for other projects, but we have plenty to get started on making some Tier 2 armor. Now, we have a couple options when it comes to Tier 2 armors made out of linen. Both are called gambeson, which is a kind of armor you would normally wear as sort of armor underwear, under armor. But there are two kinds. There is the regular gambeson body armor, which is made with just straight linen, and this is craftable by all classes. Now, since we are in a world where we have disabled the exclusive craftables, we do have access to the tailored gambeson. And this is largely the same, except that you use cloth rather than just plain old linen. It also requires sewing kits and a couple other odds and ends here and there. And as you can see, the flat damage protection and the percent protection are both, well, 0.5 higher. So we have 75 versus 70 and 75 versus 70 here. Look at this one here, 7 and 70. They're both Tier 2, but on top of the slight increase in damage protection, the regular gambeson has slightly worse penalties when you wear it. We have 17% healing effectiveness, so when all three are worn, about half healing effectiveness. We have a slight increase to hunger and a slight decrease to walk speed. The tailored gambeson has a lot less. We don't have any walk speed penalty, We still have a slight hunger increase, but that's tiny, and we have a somewhat reduced healing penalty. So with all 3 pieces, we'll only have a 30% versus 50% penalty to healing. And this interests me a lot, also because regular Gambeson only comes in 1 color. However, tailored Gambeson comes in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 colors. And I like that variety. So you see now why we have a room specifically for dyeing. I want fashion. Not that I actually care, but I want fashion. Now, to make dye, you need to have water and some kind of item that makes dye, that can be crushed into dye. However, you also typically need alum or cassiterite or chromite, which are all minerals you can dig out of the ground, and you mix them with water and you get the sort of dye base to it. The problem is that in order to make this, you need to have a pulverizer, which requires wind power, which requires sails and all manner of time spent making a windmill, and we're not quite at that point yet. However, of particular interest is a specific kind of blue dye. Instead of using cornflower or lapis, if we use WOAD, which is a yellow flower, the WOAD doesn't require the diluted minerals. It only requires water. And that actually reflects real-life WOAD dyes. WOAD is just the leaves of the yellow flower. The yellow flower is just thrown away. But you put the leaves in water and let it ferment overnight or for a couple days, and you get blue dye out of it. And WOAD grows pretty much everywhere. I mean, these little specks over here of yellow on the map, these are all WOAD. Here's some WOAD, there's some WOAD, everywhere is a WOAD. Oh, that's the song, never mind. And so I thought today would be a good chance to go and gather some WOAD, and while we're out, maybe pick up some of these other flowers out here that I want to bring back to our home area here. I'm especially interested in the lupins, like these red and orange lupins sort of mixed in with the purple ones here. I want to bring those back because they are rare and I like the look of them. And then while we're out, we can take a sort of a long roundabout hike up in this direction, because I spotted, and I forgot that I noticed this, there's another merchant right here we have not hit yet. So I think we could visit them, and then just mosey our way north, grab our resin, harvest all this stuff, and I'd like to go and hit up our brown coal deposit we have here, because we're getting a little bit low on brown coal here. I've been using it for smelting copper and bronze and stuff. So I want to go out and pick up all that stuff and bring it on back, and then we'll get on to dyeing. Not the kind where we lie in the dirt. We're also going to bring our sword just in case we end up in some close encounter tangles with anything. And we'll bring our prospecting pick, and I already have, clipping with the backpack, I do have a basket already on our backs. So we are good to go for flower gathering. You know what, I think I'll just sleep till morning. We'll go then. And good early morning, everyone. It is still pretty dark out, but it is currently calm, so we are going to go and head out on our little journey. And we'll grab some lupins on the way, we'll pick up whatever wood we can, and we'll bundle all up and bring it home. And coming up here on the map, I can see, I think, our first woad of the journey. Here we go. And I was doing some playing around in a creative world to see how much wood we needed, and it's going to be like multiple stacks. It's not even funny how much you need. So we're going to be out for a bit. I'll leave those there, I don't need that. And here's some more over here. So we'll be out for quite a bit collecting woad here. I think the word for how much it requires is, we'll go with obscene. I mean, we're talking like mass extinction of species here levels just to make one Gambeson helmet. And there will be some resources that I'm just not going to collect. I think I'm going to leave pretty much all of the crops that we see alone, because we have plenty for now and they're just going to clog up our inventory. So I'm not going to bother with them. I will mark any minerals that we find on the surface, but I'm not really going to go digging for them. Oh, here's some wood. I might poke my head down a few holes here and there, but we're not going to pursue anything too deep. Unless there's like a really enticing ruin right by the surface or visible from the surface. So we have a field full of blue lupins. I'm going to pick up all the lupins we can find. If I end up with maybe more than a stack or two of the blue and purples, I'll stop collecting those, but I want to bring them back because I want to plant even more lupins back at our house. And bonus, there's some woad mixed in with our lupins. So we'll wend our way around there as we dig out these plants. Okay, oh my, these lupins are high up. Well, let's go get them. I really want those red ones. The purple ones I might just leave because these are a pain to get. And here we go. Got some red ones. Oh, these are nice. I think I have a couple in a chest somewhere, but not many, if at all. I think we don't have any white ones, though, at all. Not sure if they're rarer than the other rare colors, or if we just haven't been lucky enough to come across them yet. Don't you go over the edge now. And now we have a tall mountain up here. Anything cool up this way? No, there's a great view. Okay, and I like those mountains, those are neat. No larches. Well, let's get back down. We're going to go, and I'm going to go pick up flowers on our way over to that pink dot where the merchant is on our map, and I will meet up with all of you once we get there. It looks like what I previously thought might have been a fruit tree was indeed a fruit tree. Let's go see what we have. I wouldn't mind having a second cherry tree that we know about. Is that another one? No, it's just a birch. What have we here? We have another pear tree. Okay. Nothing too special. There we are. And we're getting pretty close to our merchant, but we have a bit of a forest to poke our way through first. This should be fun. Nothing bad ever happens in a forest. Right? Bet that's a wolf over there. Bet that's a hole down there. Ooh, native gold. Oh, look, gold. Well, we are not going to pick it up today, but it is good to know about. And we'll just mark you, and we'll move on for now. And we're not charging through here. I hear bees. Yeah, there are bees right over here somewhere. But I've already marked a second beehive, so I'm not too interested here. Hey, blueberries. I finally see more woad on the map. It's actually been a bit since we saw any woad. You're not what I think you are you? No, okay. A little too big to be a meteorite. Hey! Whoa, dude! Alright, let's hit up this merchant. Hello, Mr. Merchant. I see you've got some flowers for sale. I'm going to just go ahead and buy these flowers for you for free. And, of course, I forgot to bring my gears with me. Oh, well. Hey, buddy. Another furniture trader? Really? Why are you all... Oh, you have these bookshelves. Why are you all furniture and... What's the other one? We have a lot of artisans. Good grief. I think next time we spot an open little shallow cave, I might go and give it a tip-tap. Don't need you bumping me around. Oh, we have more gold here. Oh, that's great. That is excellent. Thank you, Rams. You led me to the gold. Such friendly creatures. I'm so glad they never bonk us in the face. Well, I'm going to make my way north and gather woad along the way, and I'll meet back up with you when we are up in the coal area. And I'm realizing I did a real big dumb, and I did not bring my bombs. I might run back and get those real quick. Okay, we are back at home temporarily. I'm going to pick up our bombs, and I'm actually going to, I think I'm going to make a little chest. And by little, I mean a big chest, because our inventory is actually a lot more full than I thought it was going to be. So there we go, we got a chest, and we're actually so full that I already started filling up our basket. So let's get all this moved over. Got woad. Okay, well, I'm going to get going and each back on the road. So yeah, this area is once again wolf country, and I thought it would be good to talk about that because we killed like, I don't know, 7 or 8 wolves over here last year. Well, the thing is, animals do respawn eventually, and the way that works is that within each area, based on the heat maps that generate the world, so things like how much forest there is and how fertile the soil is and so on, and how much rainfall, all of those work together to determine what kinds of animals spawn. Then, my understanding of it is that the game picks several specific blocks, and on those blocks it will periodically attempt to spawn animals as long as there aren't already too many of those animals in the same area. And so you'll get this sort of single block that spawns wolves every year, year and a half. Hey, saltpeter, and something else down there. And so even if you do clear out all the animals from an area, they will come back, and the wolves will certainly eat you alive if you give them the chance. And actually, when I was coming back home to drop off our stuff, I came through here, and I think I killed 3 or 4 wolves again. And there was one farther deeper in those woods over there too. So yeah, once you've cleared an area, if you give it enough time, you're going to have to look out for animals again. And we don't have any Propic readings for this area, so let's get some. So, not much. But we could be homing in on, hey WOAD, on some tin ore somewhere in the area. Although, I'm pretty happy with our bismuth bronze. A single flower. Really? Okay. Okay, we are arriving on scene. We have not been here since winter, so I don't recognize the landscape quite as well. But I do recognize the shape of this hole right here. And I know what waits for us down here. Aside from possibly drifters. Which, amazingly, there aren't any. Wow, okay. Well, we are going to block this off just a bit. And we're going to set up camp. So let's drop one there. Off we go. Boom. Alright. Environmentally friendly coal. That's what we like. That's dark. Let's just drop you there for now. And then let's go and... oh, some more over here. So then we'll just plop one more, say... here. Boom. That was a big haul. That went everywhere, didn't it? Holy cow. Okay. How much do we have? We are filling up. We are filling up really well. In fact, this might be pretty close to our limit because I accidentally got some cassiterite and I don't want to throw it away because it's kind of rare. But I might chuck the bed, and I also might just chuck our almost dead shovel. We'll see, because I still need one more inventory slot for carrying resin. We will go ahead and... we'll just get the rest of this by hand. Seems like we're almost out. That ought to be it. Let's jump out of here. There we go. And let's get going. Although, do we have a reading for this place? We do not. Alright, let's, before we roll out of here... oh, decent tin. Interesting. And not a whole lot else. We probably won't find anything else nearby here. Verified small amounts of brown coal. Okay, I'm not too interested. That's just probably the exact same... oops. Exact same vein we just mined out. And it's daytime. Go ahead and just seal that off forever. And we have our one inventory slot left. I have had to pass up so many flowers along the way, including a whole ton of the WOAD that we came out here for, but we have, I think, 3 stacks back home. I know I have a little bit more in another chest somewhere, and then we have a whole bunch in the backpack we're carrying, which I don't have out at the moment because it's hard to take on and off. So let's go ahead all these, and we'll bundle it up and bring it on home. Okay, everyone, we are out of here. We got 11 more resin, so that will get us moving toward automation at some point. And let's make our way home. Oh, there's peridotite sticking out up here. Interesting. Oh, now that's spooky. Okay, I gotta check this out. It's a thing, you just have to. You can't not. Oh, man. What is this place? Super cool is what it is. Come on. Just a dead end. Do hear growly boys, though. Which means there's more cave in there somewhere. And I know there's more cave down there, because down here is where we almost fell last time. Or did fall last time. Anyway, I'm going to get all this home and put it in chests, and we can take a look at it. I will see you all then. Well now, isn't that a sight? At first it was just one lonely little house on the hill in winter, and now we have this veritable mansion sticking up. I like it. Needs more buildings. Okay, so we are home, and in that chest behind me, or in that trunk behind me, are all the things that we've got today from our little adventure. Let's take a look. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4.5 stacks of WOAD, and I think this, in addition to, I think I have 2 or 3 stacks of WOAD, this should be enough for what I want to do. And it might be more than enough, but we'll see. 2.5 stacks of purple lupins. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost 7 stacks of blue lupins. We got 33 cornflower, 24 forget-me-nots. We found a smattering of the rarer lupins. We got 38 red lupins, which I don't know if they're normally this much more prolific than the white ones and the orange ones, but we only got 19 white ones and 17 more orange ones, and we have a few of these in the house already. We got a couple raw hides and fat from some of the wolves that attacked us. Got 4 nuggets of cassiterite ore, or no, 4 nuggets of tin ore. We got 11 resin, and we got 3 1/4 stacks of brown coal. All in all, I think this was a very successful trip. So, let's get to work with the WOAD after I put all this stuff away. So, dyeing cloth. Let's get to it. Let's get on in here, and let's grab our WOAD. Our WOAD dude. Now, I don't recall how much we need exactly, so let's see. We want to make these. We want to make some blue tailored Game Boys helmets, and well, one of each. 1 helmet, 1 chest piece, and 1 set of leggings. So we need 1, 2, 6, 12. We need 16 blue cloth. We need 1 sewing kit for each one, which is looks like just one, effectively 1 piece of cloth and 1 stick. And we need 1, 2, 3, 4 flax twine. So not too shabby. So 16 pieces of blue cloth, which I think if we look at this, we wait till it cycles around to the WOAD. 2 liters of water and 4 WOAD. Oh boy. Makes 1 blue dye. Well, let's find out. Let's take, say, this one right here. 50 liters of water. Let's take some of this out. And we have 20 liters of water left, so let's put in the WOAD. And how much do we get? We get 20 liters of dye. Okay. And I assume that 1 liter of dye makes 1 set of... Oh, right, we need to make cloth first. Makes 1 set of blue cloth. So, to make cloth, you just need to... There we go. Put a stick to the right of some linen. And pull them up. So, in we go. Nope, we need more, I guess. Oh, we need 4 liters of dye per piece of cloth. Oh boy. Wow, that's painful. So we could make 5 out of that. Whew, that is pricey. Okay. Well, I'm going to get this sorted out, and before I seal them up, I will show you the setup for dyeing 16 pieces of plain cloth. Okay, so I have the dyeing setup here. I don't know if it's the same for every kind of dye, but for blue dye you need 4 blue dye per piece of cloth, and because that is a multiple of 4, and a barrel which holds 50 liters is not a multiple of 4, you have to use the crouch and remove water method with the bucket to remove water 1 liter at a time, like so. Anyway, so we now have 2 buckets here full of 48 liters of blue dye and 8 plain cloth each, as you can see here, and they will each turn into 8 blue cloth after 8 hours of sealing. Now, as far as how much WOAD this used, we went through 3 stacks of WOAD for this. That's how much WOAD you need in order to make 1 set of armor. So I guess I sort of misjudged myself. I thought I was going ham on the WOAD, but no, we really only have enough WOAD for another run of this and then some change after that. So we're going to go ahead and seal these up like so, and we'll come back in 8 hours. So it'll be what, 9:30 at night, and we will start making some new armor. And in the meantime, I'm going to do a couple chores because I know that farms have gone neglected for probably 3 or 4 days now. So I'm going to do that, and I'll bring you back when our cloth is ready. Okay, it is after 9:30, so let's go and see what our WOAD genocide has gotten for us. And I'm bringing along a bunch of flax twine so we can make our sewing kits, as well as the random flax bits that the armor requires. And here we go. Oh, okay. It doesn't take quite as much WOAD as I thought. I guess that the blue cloth only stacks to 8, which explain nothing. That's weird. It didn't let us put more than 8 in at a time. I don't think it did. Oh well, that's good news for us. We have some leftover dye, which is good. Let's just marry these 2. 32, not too bad. And let's make us some armor. So the first thing we need is we're going to need a couple of these sewing kits. 1, 2, and 3. There we go. And then we're going to need to... So I think the helmet was something like this. Yes. 1 tailored Gameboized helmet. And then we have... I think this was the chest piece. There we go. And then the leggings. They were something like... Not those. I think it was this. No. Ah, there we go. Okay. We have some new armor, which means we need to go and take off our existing armor. Goodbye, copper helmet. Goodbye, copper brigandine. Goodbye, copper leggings. I'm sure we'll use you again at some point, but for now, farewell. So, on go the leggings. On goes the chest piece. And on goes the helmet. And I think we are looking mighty fine in our true blue uniform. Look at that. Okay, well, mission accomplished. Now, there are a few other items that require blue cloth that I think I'd like to make at some point. So it's just as well that we have a whole bunch of leftover blue dye. We can make another, what, 8 pieces of blue cloth? So I'll probably go ahead and make some of that, and making sure that we keep enough for future projects that I have in mind coming up very shortly. And we will be somewhat more protected against higher tier enemies. Now you will notice that the protection, both the flat damage and the percent protection, is a little bit lower than the copper brigandine we were wearing. So the copper was something like 1 hit point and 80% or thereabout. So it is very slightly lower, which means we have a bit of a trade-off. Because against the tier 0 and 1 drifters, the surface and deep drifters, this will protect us a little less effectively than the copper brigandine did. However, the trade-off is that against the tainted drifters and anything else that is a tier 2 enemy, which includes some of the locusts and most animals, including notably wolves, this armor will actually be a lot better against them, because the copper does not apply the flat damage protection against the wolves' attacks at all, and as I understand, the percent protection gets cut, I think, in half. So we were only 40% protected against wolves, whereas now we are 75% and an extra 0.75 hit points on top of that. As an added bonus, this armor's durability won't be hit quite as much by wolf attacks. Rather than taking a multiple of the incoming damage as durability, it will now take a flat amount. I think it's basically if a wolf deals, say, 10 damage to us, then whichever piece takes the damage takes just 10 durability, as opposed to, it was like 50 before, something crazy. Well, everyone, I think that's going to be about it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed our little adventure out in the wild today, finding all those flowers, as well as our experience with dyeing and making fabric into armor. But this armor isn't just for show. I want to make it worth it. I think soon, maybe even in the next episode, we might go for a bit of an adventure. Anyway, as always, my name has been Kurazar. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.